So good morning, everybody. We are with Chef Dan Paris, who I have recently met out here in Montana. Kind of a haphazard situation. He was on his way out. I got hired at the restaurant, and kind of a coming together, melding of minds. We both have a lot in common, and I think that he's got a lot to teach you guys. And fortunately, we get to do this interview live in person instead of over the phone. So it should be a little bit more fun. Dan, tell the readers a little bit about you, man. What's your basic bio?
Let's see here. Grew up in Southern California. Um, my dad was in the Navy. When he retired, we moved up here to Montana. Been here for about 9, 10 years now, just off and on. Left for a little while. Went and enjoyed the cruise ship life, and then
What was that like, man? Because a lot of chefs end up doing that, but I mean, what was the best thing and the worst thing about the cruise ship life?
best thing was the amount of knowledge I learned. Worked with a lot of good chefs for a long time. I did that for 3 years. Um, 12-hour days allows you to play with a lot of food. Seven
Yeah.
days a week.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
So
does.
my hands were constantly working, and that was a good experience for that. As well as, I like to tell everybody, the guests had to pay to be there. I got paid to be there.
And that's what I tell my readers all the time about,
Yeah.
the experiences that we get to have being able to be chefs like that.
Yeah.
So
And the worst of it was working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
yeah, it does kind of suck.
Yeah. But after that, came back to Bozeman. I had some brothers that lived here. Love Montana. Bozeman's probably the best town to live in this state. But just kind of jumped from job to job until I found what I needed, learned what I could, and then just kept going.
Very cool. Very cool. So, one of the basic bullshit questions that I've got, man, why food?
Uh, it actually started in high school. My parents uh, started going back to church, and they would drag me along.
Yeah.
I wasn't too into it, and they noticed that, so they told me I didn't have to go if I didn't want to. So I would stay home on Sundays, and I would bake. My mom had the classic Betty Crocker cookbook, so I would just pull it out, and I was making cinnamon rolls and blueberry muffins, and you just name it, I was playing. And they'd come home to fresh pastries every day, so they were really liking it too. My mom was a housewife, so we had home cooked meals 7 days a week, and that kind of just spurred me into, loving food. My grandmother lived with us for a long time too. She's a cook, housewife as well. Old Southern woman. She's from Alabama.
Describing my
Yeah.
grandmother almost to a T. Yeah.
Tough woman too. Love her to death.
I still afraid of fly swatters.
Wooden spoons for me.
We're not going to talk about wooden spoons, man. We're trying to keep this safe for work, so.
So yeah, my senior year of high school.
Wait, who am I kidding? This site is never safe for work, sorry.
Senior year of high school, I finally decided I wanted to cook for a living. One of the teachers set me up with a independent study course for home ec, last period of the day, and I really enjoyed that, so I knew that's what I wanted to go do. So when I graduated high school at 18, I went straight to culinary school.
Very cool. Well, we kind of, covered this a little bit, but still, who was the biggest influence in the kitchen for you?
Oh, all the chefs that I worked under have been an influence in my life. Um, I like to take every experience, good and bad, and learn from it and apply it towards my ethics of being a chef, um, down to management techniques to food preparation. So it's hard to label which chef did the most. In the cruise ship, the corporate chef was awesome. His name was Doug Kramer. Um, Even my last job, I learned a lot of good and bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we both did on that one, man.
um, yeah, and even on the cruise ship, there's another chef. His name was Dan Hobby. Uh, Beautiful food. I mean, the guy had presentation. That's where I got a lot of influence in my presentations from him.
Very cool. Very cool. So, something I tell the readers all the time in this industry to kind of encourage them to cook is the fact that none of us bat 1,000, and that yeah, I don't want to see them get frustrated with thinking that they're fucking up when they're cooking. So let me ask you this, man. We've all got our dirty secrets. What is the worst plate that you've ever sent out, and why was it so horrible?
Hmm.
You've sent some shit out that you weren't proud of. We all have.
When I was a chef at a hotel, we had a banquet for 200 people, and these guys were lowballing constantly. I had a 16-page menu that they could choose from, but they didn't want any of it. I had to do a custom menu, and uh, nothing was coming in the budget. So I had to go with one of the lowest quality meats because that's what they wanted. And it took 10 hours to cook the meat, and it still wasn't coming out the way I wanted it. Um, it was just, yeah, it was bad. Yeah,
Yep.
that's all I can really say about that.
And folks, this is why you trust your chefs. Yeah, when they say to order the right stuff, order the right stuff.
Yeah.
So now, to kind of switch things around to a high note, what is the best meal you've ever eaten?
Oh, that's a tough one. Cooked or eaten?
Eaten.
Eaten. Hmm. You know, my girlfriend made me a dish a few years ago, and it spurred me into experiencing new foods, and it was an Indian dish called matar paneer. I had never really experienced Indian food, and that dish just blew me away. She's an awesome cook. She doesn't do it professionally, but recreationally, she does some of the most amazing things. Probably one of the many reasons I love that woman.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, what do you think, in your professional or even personal experience, what's wrong with the food scene right now? What frustrates you with the restaurant business, the food culture, all this stuff that we've got going on right now?
Hmm, that's a tough one. As far as Montana goes,
Anything, locally or nationally or worldwide, man.
um, I think worldwide things are going proper. Um, New experiences, definitely access to food is at an all-time high. I can't believe some of the stuff you can get your hands
Yeah,
on
no
these
shit,
days.
right?
Yeah, versus 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it gets crazy every year. But in this beautiful state of ours, people are still stuck on meat and potatoes.
of course.
Yeah, they want their beef and they want their potato. So how many ways can you make beef and potatoes?
But it's up to guys like us to be able to change that scene,
Yeah.
So, and you definitely do a hell of a job with that. I mean, I can definitely say that even with your, for the readers that don't know, dude actually has a really badass garden that I haven't seen in person, but I've seen pictures of, and I've tasted the produce, and his shit is, yeah.
I
So,
love every aspect of food, from growing it out of the ground to raising my own chickens. Those farm fresh eggs are delicious. I even have ducks. Yeah.
which he won't let me use for confit. Selfish bastard.
Yeah.
So obviously, then you think that things overall are going in the right direction as far as the food scene, though.
For the most part, um, you get some overzealous people. You know, something I did notice, and it's been a reoccurring fact, is these people coming out of culinary school thinking they're chefs. Um,
See, I'm not the only one, folks.
it's sad. These guys, they know a lot, they can do a lot, but there's more to it than just cooking food. There's cost controls, labor costs, overheads. management techniques. You know.
Well, and even if they teach you that stuff in school, which some of the better schools, such as CIA, do include that in their curriculum,
But the
I,
application of it.
exactly the practical experience of having to think on your feet and perform. So that's the only way you learn. So let's kind of get a little bit weird for a second, man. Who do you think would win in a fight between Old Dirty Bastard and Nate Dogg? God rest both of them, by the way.
Old dirty bastard.
Really?
Yeah.
You really think that he would win in a fight against Nate Dogg? Okay,
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong answers here.
Gonna fight dirty. If you're gonna fight dirty, right?
Wu-Tang forever, man. Wu-Tang forever. All right. So, what is your biggest pet peeve in a kitchen? What is the thing? Servers, waiters, owners, cooks, whatever. What is the biggest thing that people can do in a kitchen to piss you off? And mind you, this guy's like 6'9", 300 plus pounds. He's not a small guy. Oh, gentle giant all the way though.
As far as in the kitchen, back of house, is product rotation. You're killing my food cost when I'm throwing shit away. And that pisses me off to no end. As far as front of house goes, it's the special orders. It will always be modifications.
Oh yeah.
Get a laundry list in that ticket. You're like, wait a minute, I've got 20 tickets hanging, and now I've got to stop everything to figure this one thing out. And it sets everybody in the restaurant behind.
We're not going to mention the unnamed food delivery service around here that we all love so much. So, okay, on that note, though, what inspires you? What makes you get up and deal with the bullshit and the 12-hour days and the headaches and the hassles? Obviously, it's not the money or the fame, because we don't get either one of those as far as I'm concerned.
Honestly, it's my crew. It's the camaraderie. I like to tell everybody the kitchen is the last bastion for the unwashed. Pirates be we!
God bless us all, my friend.
And I love it to death. Those
Yes.
people make it worth it. And that's why I bend over backwards for my crew.
Yes, you do. And I've seen that and experienced that firsthand, which is why we're having this conversation. And so, on that note, man, what are your final words of wisdom for the people?
Keep the passion going. That's where it matters.
Fucking A. Fucking A.
I don't care if you're eating it or cooking it. Keep the passion.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, hope you guys learned something. There's also going to be a recipe that he has kindly provided us for crawfish etouffee. So we will be posting this in the video, and hope you guys enjoy it. The cookbook, shameless self-promotion, is for sale right now, so please click on the link to buy that as well. And depending on if he wants to or not, I will post a link to where he works so that you can come and experience some of this gentleman's food firsthand. So, yeah, round of applause. Good night.